So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the DGL Champs pre-show, hosted by yours truly, Sklounced. I am joined by some special guests here. One of them being Emu. We have some more on the way. They'll be in here shortly. They are a little bit busy at the moment. How you feeling today, Emu?
I'm feeling good, man. Just been vibing all day.
Yeah, man, I definitely feel that. Um, Thank you for everyone that's tuning in so far. I see a few of you are in here already. What's up, Slim? What's up, dog? Glad y'all stopped what you're doing to join in. I see the Slim was building himself well, not himself, but I believe it was dog a desk. How y'all doing? But anyway, so we do have more people joining us later. I will put their names up. I'll go ahead and put their names up now. Um, some of them aren't confirmed yet, so I'll leave one of them blank because they haven't responded. But we're gonna be having Safari and Huff in here as well very soon. So be sure to tune in later for when they get here. Be looking like about 10 minutes for Safari and then like 20 minutes for Huff to get in here right now. So we have Red D1 at Red D3 for the grand finals of the DGL 2022. Was it Summer League? I believe it's officially called
Yeah.
Summer League Finals. So we're gonna go ahead and pull up the maps and modes for tonight. We'll go ahead and get that on the screen here for y'all to see. So Red D1, obviously being the home team, got to have 2 vetoes, and those vetoes were both of the Gavs. They took the Gavs from us. I can't say I'm too surprised. Nothing very surprising about that. Just it is what it is. Like it's one of our best maps, and they got to hit us where it hurts for vetoes. So not too surprised about that at all. What do you think about map one here, Emu?
Bokage, just it's a straight mixy. Like it's gonna be. I mean, the last time we played each other, what was it like? Or in the first game we played,
Yep.
we played Bokage Hardcore map one. What was it? It was like 250 to 200. So like, uh, I mean, it's gonna be a mixy game. Like both teams we're just so mixy. Like it's gonna be chaos for sure.
Oh my goodness, here we have him. He's in here. We'll go ahead and switch back to this screen and get him on here. Adequate, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Oh, I don't gotta play Vanguard no more. I'm feeling great, man. This feels awesome, man. First day I haven't played Vanguard in a while, man. And I'm just smiles, all smiles around here.
Alrighty, definitely happy to hear that for you. Unfortunately for myself and Ready 3 and Ready 1 included, we do still have to play this game at least one more day. You know, the
Yeah.
countdown is in. We are just hours away from being able to hit that uninstall button, and that is the most important thing to take away from tonight. Besides all this that's going on right now. So since you're in here, and you got in here just in time for maps and modes, what do you think about the vetoes that Red D1 did?
Interesting, just because, uh, from what I've heard, people around the Red D1 camp have always said, "Don't chalice on Gav," because they said they're pretty good at Gav. So I don't know. I thought they were gonna go the Tuscan route, to be honest, but they kept Tuscan in. Probably seen you guys win 2 Gavs yesterday might have changed their mind. I don't know, but I think it was either between the Tuscans or the Gavs, and probably just whatever they feel comfortable with right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think especially after the choke against Black D1 the other day that Red D3 had against them, I think that was probably a pretty convincing factor
Yeah.
to leave Tuscan control in at least. The hard point was kind of close, but still, like, it wasn't, it wasn't a convincing, like, as convincing of a win as Red D3 would have hoped, but definitely still came out on top, and it was a somewhat convincing win. So maybe that gave them some confidence on Tuscan as well. So we got to weigh in those factors as well.
That's bold.
What's bold? What do you mean?
Can you expand on that?
Said that's bold, saying it was a. Actually, no, it's not. And you said convincing win. That map 5 was just utter domination.
No. I meant the Tuscan specifically. It was a convincing.
Oh.
It was convincing, but it wasn't like, as dominant as the Gav looked. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So
I
like
agree.
it was 250 to
176.
170. Yeah. So
And then
not as much breathing room there, but it was much closer. So maybe they felt like in their vetoes they were like, yeah, I'd much rather chow them on Tuscan. And you got to think with a team that has as big of a map pool as Red D1, you don't really care too much to try to play to your opponent's weaknesses. You just want to like take away their strengths. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
So I don't think Red D1's necessarily scared or anything like that to chow anyone on any map. I just think they were like, well, these are their self-proclaimed best maps. Let's just get rid of those right off rip.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
I think the same way.
Yes.
Even though I think you guys are kind of nasty on Tuscan.
I mean, I think they're pretty solid on Tuscan. I don't think they're as good on Tuscan as they are Gav, but I think it'll come down to the wire. I mean, just like that bow cage game will too.
Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and hop into the next map here, Berlin S&D. So what I find interesting about this is that a lot of people know this. Red D1, they vetoed this last time we played them. This was the map that they vetoed, and here it is, map number 2 against them right now. I know personally, I've seen a couple interviews from Sense and stuff like that. They said that they have to work on their S&D. I do believe S&D is a very strong point for Red D3 right now. And with there being 4 S&Ds in this final, I think it's going to be up to Red D1 to take one at this point. And with that information, how do you feel about the map pick here, Emu?
Berlin S&D. Yeah, like you said, Red D1, like they're not. I get like it was their veto last time.
Yep.
And like just hearing them talk about their S&D, it's like they just weren't really. They're not really like confident. It's like obviously they're confident, but they're like, they don't really like trust in their confidence in their S&D. Like, so it's kind of interesting that the map 2 is the map that they vetoed. Like the last time we played, so.
I will say
mean-
in their defense that this is the map that I picked against
Oh.
I was
them.
gonna
So
say, yeah,
it wasn't.
I was gonna say, how do the picks work? Did you
Yeah,
guys
so
map
the
your-
picks go team 1, which is Red D1. They pick 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. The
Okay.
away team, Red D3, 2, 4, 6, and 8.
Okay, so you picked then Berlin, Tuscan controlled, and then Berlin hardpoint because that's the last one.
That was the last one, and I had to. So luckily for, we'll get to that later. I think that the biggest downfall for Red D1 in their S&D is the loss of Safari. And some people might disagree with that, but I think that was he was their decision maker. Whether or not, like, they probably knew what to do. It's just confirmation of hearing somebody else say that's what you need to do that gives you the confidence to do it. And I
Yeah,
think
that's
Safari was that person.
like I was saying, it just seems like they don't really like it's Red D1. They're gonna be confident against anyone, any map, any mode. But at the end of the day, it's like they have to trust in each other. So it seems like a lot of the time, like they don't really like have that full trust with each other in search, at least.
Yeah, for sure. I will say Berlin looks like a very confident map for them. I am pretty surprised that they wanted to veto this last time we played them. So I'm just kind of torn as to why they wanted to ban that S&D map specifically. I think it was mostly because Red D3 chose it more often than not for S&D, and I think it was more of those let's just take away one of their strengths kind of thing. They knew that they haven't been performing in S&D, and it was more about getting rid of our strengths as opposed to to our weaknesses. So, and with this being the best of 9, there's only 2 maps to eliminate. So, I mean, obviously, the 2 Gavs make a lot of sense. We've looked really good on that. But again, I think Gav is also a really good map for Red D1. I think they've also looked just as, if not more, dominant on those maps at times. But maybe that'd be a little bit more of an ego chow if they let those maps get through.
Yeah.
So, next we go into the Berlin Control. How do you feel about this, Adequate?
I'm not gonna sugarcoat it.
Please
I think
don't.
it's gonna be a convincing Red D1 win. You guys just have not looked the most comfortable on Berlin Control. You've looked more comfortable on different controls, and I think Red D1 just know how to play Berlin pretty well. So I would be surprised if it's if they get if they take an L on this map.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to speak as much from a third-party perspective as possible. For those of you who don't know, I am the coach of Red D3. Emu is also on Red D3. I'm trying to give as much unbiased opinion as possible. It's very hard to do that considering I'm on the team and I'm the coach of the team. But I also believe that we have been looking very weak in Berlin Control specifically, and I think there's definitely some things that we've been working on up until this point, and we have been keeping an ear out for things on what to look for, and we've been talking about specifically how to counter the way Red D1 plays. I don't know if it'll be enough because they're a very adaptive team. Just because we counter a player or two who's been a thorn in our side the whole map, the whole time we've been playing them on it, doesn't mean it's necessarily going to work. But who knows if tonight will be any different. I would say that this is definitely heavily favored to be a Red D1 walk away for that map. What do you think, Emu?
Yeah, I mean, the last time we played them on Berlin Control, we just got absolutely tossed. Like, they literally made it seem like they were playing a pub.
Yeah, I mean,
We
the round
just
one
didn't
was
even
close, but
yeah,
after that,
it just didn't seem like we were really we weren't putting a lot of effort into the match, like that map. Like we just kind of got checked middle of the map. So I mean, we did work things over like we talked it over as soon as the map ended. So yeah, hopefully we can show what we're really about on the map, or at least just a better showing than last time.
I definitely want to see a closer competition on that map than what we've seen before. I don't know whether or not it's going to happen. I'm definitely hoping it does, and I'm very confident that we can at least have a better performance. I just don't know if it'll be if we had enough either time to prepare between like the amount of matches that we had and the preparations we had to do for other teams and things of that nature. It's going to be it'd be difficult to come out on top on this one for sure. Do you have anything to add, Safari?
I mean, I'd say that Emu basically covered it. I wasn't gonna sugarcoat it. It was like a 7-minute match. I mean, the first round was about 2.5 minutes, and then after that, it was like you were playing a pub, is what he said. It was just like you guys like kind of got checked after losing the first round. and it was like you just like gave it to them, and we're just like, whatever. This isn't our map. Let's win map 4, and hopefully you guys can take it to round 5 this time. And I mean, you get a 4 down, you upset. That's how you have to look at it.
Yep. Berlin Control is definitely a very momentum-based map, right? You get 4 down, like Safari said. All you have to do is get 4 down, and that's it, man. It's lights out from then on. You just spawn trap. It's I wouldn't say it's the easiest thing to do, but it's, like I said, it's very momentum-based. If we can get that momentum on Red D3's side, who knows what happens. But once again, I think it was just, it was a very convincing win from Red D1 last time, and I think it's hard to argue that they have definitely a favored hand on that map. So, continue on to the next map here, Tuscan Hardpoint.
I honestly think this map is going to be the best map of the series. I think it's going to come down to the wire, and I think it could be like a 5-point game at the end of this map. I think it's a even match on both sides. To be honest,
Okay.
I think it's going to be a dogfight.
I definitely second that. So we have played Red D1 before in a scrim on this map, and I believe it was, I don't remember the exact scoreline, but I'm pretty sure both teams had over 200 points. I would definitely expect this to be a very mixy and close heartbreaker type of map. Whichever team loses this, hopefully it's not by, a huge margin. Hopefully we get a good showing out of both teams. But I would say expect this to be down to the wire, very mixy, down to that last P1 rotation. Whoever has a glide or whatever to use at their disposal to get the advantage on that. Any thoughts, Emu?
Yeah, like you said, the last time we scrimmed them, because we didn't play it in our match, but the last time we scrimmed them on Tuscan, it was a really close game. But I don't want to base like a scrim, but like,
Yep.
I mean, when that's the only like correlation of us playing Tuscan against them, like I'm just gonna refer to it. But I think it just favors both teams like so well, because like our playstyle is really like coincide against each other on Tuscan.
Yeah, for sure. I think a map like, so the maps where I see the most fundamental things going on, I'd say the 2 most fundamental maps are definitely between Tuscan and Gav. You could definitely toss Berlin in there, but I get in a blender every time we're on Berlin. It seems sometimes I played well in the last Berlin, but I think Tuscan and Gav are the most fundamental maps for Hardpoint in this game, and I think that's why Red D3 and Red D1 challenge up so well on this map, and I think it's just a matter of who's making the clutch plays and when they're making them. The rotation kills and the team wipes, like the 4-man down, the team hits and stuff like that, the breaks. It's just going to be a who plays it just a little bit better fundamentally, and who's making the all-star plays is what it's going to come down to. Because it's going to come down to like a few of these scrap 10-second wins, or we get a 4-man wipe and get a free 10-15 seconds on hill type deal. Anything to add to that, Safari?
I mean, just like what you were saying, it's going to come down to who's getting the cutoff, who's going to win the rotational battles. It's more than likely going to be Sklounce and Dicey constantly in the rotation battle. I think cutoffs is going to be the biggest part. Who's there going from P3 to P5, or P3 to P4? Who's cutting off P5? How many are you going to get? It's going to come down to those fights. It's not going to be who's the mixiest on the hill. It's going to be the cutoffs. That's going to get you the 10 to 15 seconds, like you said. I think adequate what he said. This is going to be the closest game. I think this and Bocage will both be 250 to 220. I think this one will be like better overall.
Alrighty, and I do want to add, a Move fan has been saying it in chat, and I have it written here in my notes. There is a big announcement for the DGL, the upcoming DGL next season, going to be made after map 4 in the intermission. There's going to be a 5-minute intermission for the teams to take a break, get some comms going, talk about things they need to go over, get some water, bathroom break, whatever it is, and then we'll go back into map number 5. But that in between that period of map 4, map 5, it's probably going to be much needed. That Tuscan's going to be hard fought. So I think it's going to be a much needed break after that Tuscan hard point, and we're going to have a brief intermission where we're going to have a huge announcement about what's coming up in the next DGL, and it is pretty big. It's not just a standard like, hey, we're having a DGL. It's actually pretty huge. You're going to want to watch it. All players in the grand finals are also welcome to watch, and it's definitely something to tune into for sure. So, that being said, after that intermission, we're going into a Bokage S&D. So far I've been leaving you last with everyone kind of capitalizing and saying the main things that need to be said first. So I'm going to give you first shot at this. What do you think about Bokage S&D map 5?
I want to say last time you guys played, Red D3 won. I don't think it was round 11. I want to say it was 6-4.
Yeah, I was around 10.
It just came down to who was getting the first blood and staying alive. I think it's going to come down to if Emu and Scuff are running into tools, who's going to win that initial gunfight. If Zach picks one off and it's 3-3 on trades, I think it's going to favor Red D1 if they have even numbers. The second someone gets a first blood and stays up, whoever gets the first blood, I think, because they're pretty fundamentally sound teams for search. I get Red D1's been struggling, but they know what they're doing. Whoever gets the first blood is going to win the rounds. I'm going to say that. I think it's going to be a 6-3 game, though. And I don't know who it's going to favor. I couldn't tell you who it's going to favor, but I think that it's going to be 6-3.
All right. Emu, your thoughts?
The last time we played them, yeah, so it was round 10. Seemed like a lot of the time that they were getting bloods. That was the thing, and they just didn't really capitalize off their 3v4 being up in numbers. Like that's what I'm I've been talking about. Like they don't really trust in their confidence really. Like they're so talented, and when you have a team like that being up in numbers, like they should close out the round every time. So like they would it seemed like I don't know why just mid round they would just get frantic. I don't know if they're not looking at the mini map. So I mean this time seems like recently our teamwork in S&D has been unmatched. So if we just remember to keep our teamwork, there, it should be a really good map.
All right, Adequate, what say you?
Yeah. So I think the keys to any of these searches is if Red D1 does get the first blood. I think sometimes they like to play separate and just overchow a little bit. So if they keep doing that, like in recent trends, it might get out of hand for them real fast, especially on Bokage. I think Bokage is one of the I think Bokage is one of the harder maps to convert, like when you're down in lives, like if it's like a 1v3 or something, just in the sense of everything's so close, you can get a trade super fast and you're not across the whole map. So yeah, I think first bloods in this series are going to be a huge factor.
I think that rounds are extremely momentum based, whereas typically you see that just like a Berlin control, right? You get a 4-man wipe, that's a huge momentum gainer for one team, right? You push through and you set up a spawn trap. It's kind of the same thing on Berlin. Sometimes, if you go down 3-4, you play extra ratty on Bokage because it's like it can be that fast-paced map, but typically it plays as one of the slowest S&D maps because it's so close quarters, because you have to be so careful, because there's so many different places for people to be in different setups. And I think it's going to play a big factor as to when you get that momentum, what you do with it. If you get too aggro, too fast, you're gonna get caught in some bad situations. And if you turtle up too bad when you lose the momentum, you're gonna get dogged. So I think it's just gonna be a momentum-based S&D, and whoever can keep that momentum going throughout the rounds, they're gonna be the clear winner. So now we go into Tuscan Control. Huff, are you back with us? No?
I sure am.
Sweet. I want to get your thoughts on this Tuscan Control.
Oh boy. Well, shoot. I mean, I don't personally personally playing against both Red D1 and Red D3, I only have experience playing against Red D1, and all I will say is I'll admit it, they beat us so bad that I don't think we've ever played Tuscan Control again. But that was before when they had Safari on the team as well. So maybe it'll be something different.
Dang, Huff said that Red D1's nothing without Safari. You heard it here first. No, I'm playing.
That is what he just said.
I'm playing, Huff. I'm playing. Don't mute. You're good. Huff. Okay, I shut him out. I think his kid's upset in the background. Anyways, we'll go ahead and carry this over to. We'll toss this one up to Emu. You want to go?
Yeah, all I gotta say is that last time I played Red D1 on Tuscan Control, they made me retire. So 15-30.
Oh no, say that one more time.
Last time I played Tuscan Control against Red D1, I went 15-30, and they made me retire. So.
Ah.
I remember that.
Yeah,
Yep.
I too remember that. I was there.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean.
But that's a different me. That's not me though.
That was Xbox. That was Xbox
Yeah,
Emu. This is
I was on my Xbox.
This is PC Emu. He's built different. All right. Adequate. What do you think?
I honestly just have Red D1 winning both controls. Pretty. I wouldn't say Tuscan's a hard map to win an offense. So
Very.
So I don't know if it's gonna be super convincing, but I still think they get the win here. I just think they just been a dominant control team all year, and I don't think I see them slowing down anytime soon.
Definitely. All right, Safari, your thoughts? Tuscan Control.
Tuscan Control. I'll be honest. If they're on offense and they have church control, I think it's gonna be a quick game. I think your key to victory is not letting them have church control, because I mean, church control was everything when I played you guys, and I'm sure you guys recognize that. You basically just got to keep. It's more than likely going to be Connor and Zach and Church. You got to keep them out. But if you guys can't do that, I'm going to have Red D1 probably winning 3-1.
That's understandable. I don't want people to take too much into account from our last performance on Tuscan Control. We did sell that big time. We had a good showing until that round 5. That round 5 just had us twisted. Like Safari said, he got into church, and once they got in there, I got spawn trapped like 3 times. I was spawning right into people's pre-aims, and it was not. I couldn't take more than a few steps, a few lives. So that was extremely frustrating. So I think that's something definitely to make note of. We definitely have some things to improve on in control for Tuscan, and probably control in general. But I definitely think we are going to cross our T's a little bit better this time around, because I think we're gonna be playing a little bit extra careful this time and not get too overzealous. So that being said, we're on to map number 7, Tuscan S&D. Who wants to start off with that one? Sweet. I'll start it off.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I do believe that Red D1 they used to always play this map. I remember when I used to be a lot more active on VOD watching and things of that nature, Red D1 would always pick Tuscan S&D, but I think that was back when Safari was still on the team too. But I think it's gonna be all about who gets the mid map control. Because if you get it on defense, you can easily transition, and same thing with offense. Whoever has mid map control will have easy transitions. That doesn't mean that you don't have to watch the flank and stuff like that. It's all about your good setups. But if you can get mid control, it doesn't necessarily secure the round, but it definitely gives you a lot of angles to approach every situation that's thrown at you. Anyone else have any thoughts? Emu?
Oh wait, adequate. Did you guys play Tuscan S&D against them?
Yeah,
in your
we
match?
did. We won 6-2. So I think it has been a struggle. Maybe
Yeah.
for the last time they played it. I did play pretty well that map. I did watch some VOD before I went into it, and they were kind of doing the same things they always do, so it was kind of predictable. So maybe they changed things up. So
Yeah, because I mean, yeah, I don't really know about their Tuscan S&D, but like I've just been referring to all their S&Ds just to how they've been playing it recently. It's just but yeah, all I know is that I don't think I played them on Tuscan S&D, but obviously they just played Black D2 on it, and yeah, I think we played it once at least in the playoffs against White D2, and I forgot what the round count was, like 6-3, something like that. But I mean, S&D's S&D at the end of the day. Just have to have trust in your team, and yeah.
Huff, any thoughts?
Yes, sir. So I'm actually gonna root for you guys. Like Adequate said, we played Red D1 and I think we won pretty convincing. I don't remember the last time we played you on Tuscan. So I don't have too high hopes for them as far as that map goes, but it'll be a prize for me seeing how you guys play. So I have you guys winning.
Okay. That's fair enough. So now we're gonna move on to the Berlin hardpoint. Adequate, you want to kick it off?
I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I think it's gonna be a smoke show, and it's gonna be. You guys are going to have a 4-3 lead going into this map to get it to a best of 9 if it gets to this Berlin hardpoint. Red D1 have looked really good on Berlin. They smoked us. I watched scrim against you guys. They smoked you guys.
Yep.
All right.
They just know how to play that map. They rotate well. They get the win, the important gunfight wins. They just look really good. So yeah, I have Red D1 winning this one.
Safari thoughts?
Is there such thing as a 50-point club?
Holy Jesus Christ!
I'm joking. I'm
Damn.
joking. Don't worry. I'm joking. You can't sugarcoat it like just like adequate. This has been their best map since I left. I hated the map. I never picked it. Didn't give it the chance. looking back at it, like, geez, they you guys got to be up 4-3 because I don't see there being any way you guys squeeze this one out. I mean, you could upset them. This is normally the map everyone vetoes as of recent, and with you guys having no vetoes, I'm sure this would have been the one you guys vetoed if you had one. But yeah, I could see this being a very convincing win.
Fair enough. Emu?
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I mean, scrimmed them. Didn't look too hot, but it's a match. Hopefully, we can turn some things around. Again, yeah, it's their best map, so I just want to put more of an effort into this Berlin hard point than the last time we played him, or we scrimmed him.
Fair enough. I'm going to give my thoughts. So, yeah, we're going to lose it, probably. So, that's just, I'm being honest here. It's not our strongest map. We haven't put a whole lot of time into it, mostly because we can veto it. So, and it has been a very weak map for us. We are still able to compete with some of the top teams on it. Like, I mean, we lost it to Black D2 in the elimination finals, but it wasn't like, it was still a convincing win, don't get me wrong, but it's not like we lost by like over 100 or anything like that. I think hopefully we get over the 100-point club mark, but we have to definitely, I agree, we definitely have to be at a map count advantage by the time we get here to push it to a map number 9. I think, in my opinion. I mean, unless we come out and we're just like shooting extra different and they're shooting extra not different, I think it's gonna be I think it's gonna be heavily favored for a D1.
Hopefully, Zach shoots like he's playing BO3, bro. Because he was on BO3 earlier. We don't need his vanguard shot.
To be honest, if you guys are up in the series going into this, I think you have a better chance of winning this map. Just in the sense of you guys are down 4-3 and you need to extend it, and you're like, oh god, well, we have a Berlin or maps, our season's on the line and it's Berlin. But if like you guys are playing with nothing to lose, like we still have a map 9, let's just go out and fight it. I think you. So that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, we just reserve the mental capacity to give our all into the map number 9 instead of trying to pour it all into that Berlin hardpoint, which we know that we're at a severe disadvantage for. I see what you're saying. With that being said, Desert Siege S&D. Huff, kick us off.
Yeah, so Desert Siege, I mean, it by far has to be the least picked map. So least picked map meaning least basically knowledge on how every team would play it. I think you guys may have played it once or twice, if that. Same with Red D1. Personally, I've never figured out how to play this map. I've done the same two things. I hope for both teams you guys have a better plan. Honestly, it could go up in the air. The only thing I know of is reaching mid map and taking control of that. So, I definitely expect Connor and or Zach to have that priority, and I kind of expect OK and Scuff on your side to kind of make that their priority. So it's a matter of those gunfights, and then probably you and Sense for the long range. So it's kind of up in the air for me. Can go either way.
That's a fair assessment. What do you think, Safari?
if it's anything like last night, it's gonna be a quick 6-0. No. If it's anything like last night with how you guys played, it's gonna be I think a convincing win because knowing how some of them play, I don't think they're gonna be ready for how it was played last night. It was just like like I don't know. I'm not gonna use that word. It was just a wake up. Let's just say I woke up really fast, like reality check with what happened. I think you guys, if it makes it to map 9, I think you guys take it 6-3. I mean, you're the only team I've seen play it convincingly like that.
Fair enough.
So
Adequate.
So, yeah, you did have that convincing one last night on it. But I do know some info about this map. I do know you guys were on a free for all going over strats, and I know Sense was in there. So, Sense was going over strats with you guys, so that might not go in your guys' favor if it gets to this map 9. So I don't know. You guys might be thinking that in the back of your head. Maybe not.
there's no
You never
shot.
All right. Okay. Yeah, what Adequate said was complete cap. We were not going over strats. We were literally 4v1ing Sense in like a free for all, and we didn't even go over strats. Like we were just when we played the game, it was literally like on the fly calls.
Yep.
And I felt like the only reason why like we beat Black D1 so dominantly on it was because we knew they were gonna overcomplicate it. Obviously, because Safari, he's really like strat heavy, but we're like, I think they're just gonna try to do too much. And like I said, we were calling everything on the play, like on the spot.
Yep.
So, yeah.
I want to also reiterate that we did not go over any strats when we were on the map. So the only thing we did when we were in that map was just go over cruddy spots. Like literally like here's some spots I've seen online. I've seen Shotzi do this and stuff like that. And like we found all these spots and creddies and angles and stuff like that. And we were just looking for as many of those as we could and like trying to make everyone aware of what there is to do on the map so that we can be ready for it and also maybe try to do one or two if we found the opportunity in a map. But it was there was definitely no strats to be called. I mean, like it was just very basic, generalized. Like this is kind of maybe the how we should play this, and that was it. There was no specific, we're gonna double nade this or hit this or then we're gonna do this type deal. It was nothing like that at all. It wasn't even close. It was just very generalized for like, and it was like a minute and a half of like this is probably what we should do, and then after that we were just finding credit spots, and then Sense joined the game, and then started 4v1ing him. It was really just my team shooting at me and Sense because we had the same skin on, and I was just getting shot in the back by my teammates, and what's new there? But anyways, so. And like you guys said, there's like little to no information on this map. I mean, Red D1's hardly played it. Anyone in DGL's hardly played it. The map sucks. It's it's kind of an abomination, right? And it's the redheaded stepchild, and no one likes it. So, with that being said, I want to go. Obviously, me and Emu have our bias on this, but I want to get the other three opinions. Starting with Adequate, what do you think the final series score is going to be and who takes it?
I think it is going to be a 5-3 victory for Red D1. I think it's going to be a hard fought, a lot of close games. I think you guys take up Respawn, and I think they might take one of the first 3 searches. I think it's going to be a close game, and then when you get to that Berlin, it's going to be a tough one. So I think Red D1 edges this one out 5-3.
All right. And Huff, what do you think?
I mean, not to just fully take Adequate's answer, but I honestly have Red D1 5-3 as well. It's those Berlins that are just that's the scary part about rooting for your team.
All right, Safari.
Not trying to make anyone mad here, but I think it's gonna be a 5-2 for Red D1. I don't know. I think
Sounds
you
like you know.
guys.
You
I
rat.
think
No,
you
play.
guys steal both the searches, but I don't see. Actually, are there 3 searches in 7?
There's in
Yep.
7? Yeah.
Yeah. I still think it's gonna be 5-2. I think Red D1 squeaks one out of you guys, and you guys win 2 of them. But yeah.
All right. And obviously me and Emu both think that we're gonna take this, right? Right, Emu?
Yes, sir.
All right.
5-0, 5-0.
Yeah, I wouldn't say 5-0. They're a good team. But we're gonna win. All right. All right.
Yeah.
So now I want to go over some of the keys to victory. All right. So first, we're gonna start off with Red D1. The first key to victory I have, and feel free to add on to it. These are just general points to keep in mind. Here, the first one we have is by Huff the Puff himself. Watch out for scuff flanking. Care to elaborate, Huff?
I mean, it's something my team very much recognized every time we have played you. Scuff just gets behind you. He finds those angles, and I even noticed when you guys were playing Black D1, he has the patience and the discipline. He can basically get that kill, probably get 2, maybe get traded, or he could get his team spawns and get his team set up. And I think I would rather have that. Even though the kills sound nice, getting your team set up for the next hill, at least on hardpoint, is a much better play. So you gotta be aware of him in the background.
Fair enough. Adequate, what do you think?
On this key to victory,
Yes.
yeah, Scuff. If Scuff's doing his thing and getting behind people, it is can be frustrating. So if he's doing his thing and getting behind people, it's you guys are gonna be looking pretty good. If Scuff has he played pretty good last night against us. If he keeps up that same momentum into this series, I think it's gonna be looking rough for Red D1.
All right. We'll go ahead and get some other opinions on this next key to victory. I think there's only so much to say about scuff flanking. I put take a S&D from Red D3. Safari, why don't you go ahead and say what you feel about this?
So, did you mean take the S&D away from Red D3, or you guys had to capitalize against Red D1?
No,
This is for Red D3, Red D1 against Red D3.
Okay. I think they got to play. They can't. They can't ego chow like they have the tendencies of doing. It has to be. You got to be playing trades. If they're not playing trades, you guys are gonna roll them. If they're playing trades, it's gonna come a little bit harder to roll them. Obviously, Zach, Connor, Sense, all tough kills. Dicey, not so much. I'm joking with you, Dicey. Don't worry. But they all ego chow, and it costs them at times. if you guys are playing how you guys have been playing, they're not going to capitalize on an S&D. So it just comes down to if they actually worked on it like they said they would.
Which they have. Not, I don't know if they've been playing together, but I have been playing some chows with Zach and Connor. So they have been playing some S&D recently in the last week.
Oh yeah, that's right. You and also you and Zach had that tournament that y'all did.
Yeah.
The last point that I had, and I want to elaborate on this a little bit, is stay fundamental. Keep to your fundamentals. It kind of ties into what we were saying about S&D. Don't overchow. Don't rush into things too quickly. Play together, and if you play your fundamentals, you'll be a tough team to beat no matter what. When you get a little bit too confident, a little bit too over aggressive, that's when a team like Red D3 is going to take advantage of it. And that's really all there is to be said about that, unless anybody has something to add to that.
No.
No.
All right.
Oh.
So with that, now move on to Red D3. Oh, that's the wrong one. Right here. Well, we already know the first point. I already put it up there. I put, and feel free to chime in anyone at any time. I should probably ask that. Do we have anything else before we move on to that for Red D1?
No.
No, yeah,
Any other keys to
that's
victory?
good.
Just I don't
You
know.
can't. I'd
Sense
say.
has to control his boys, but I'm sure he will.
I was gonna say you can't let OK get hot, because when he gets hot, it's like when you see him pop a 2-piece, you know he's gonna get full streaks. I don't know what it is. Normally, whenever he gets 1, he gets 2, he gets 3, and you just can't let OK get hot, because when he's out of it, he's out of it. So, I think you got to capitalize and not let him get hot. So yeah.
Zach in the chat, being the big brainy he is, says, "Watch out for Zach. He's too nasty. We'll tell Red D1 to watch out for you because you're too nasty." We'll move on to Red D3. Now we've all seen the first key to victory here, and I put it as shut down common sense on AR. It's much easier said than done. I know that I am overly simplifying an immense task. He is, I think, undeniably at least top 2 ARs in the league, and he's not 2. So,
I definitely agree.
The dude plays power positions like nobody's business, and I think he can be outplayed. I think he can be countered. It's just really hard to do. I'm not trying to take away any credit from the other ARs in the league, but this guy is definitely, like, if you ask any AR in the league, one of the hardest ARs to go against, it's probably going to be Sense, right? He's the hardest kill for me, and basically any other AR I've talked to. So I think if we can shut down Sense on AR, whether that's, me countering him on power positions and shutting him down to try to get to his, or if it's SMGs getting his face and he becomes obsolete and has to pull out a sub, which he can also do. I've learned that in ranked as well. But I think that's a very key point for this Red D3 squad. Huff, do you have anything else to add on to that?
Yeah. Real quick, I want to clarify. When I said I agree, I meant on the key to victory. So, I mean, shutting down common sense, it's not only getting him, like, killing him, it can also be avoiding him. And one of the things that comes to mind for my team and how we dealt with common sense was just straight up avoiding him. After multiple head-banging times of challenging him on outer of Berlin and dying every time, even 2 versus 1. We changed our game plan to just avoid him. P3, he held that back heady, and we dealt with the rest of the guys while Common Sense was out there, and he just basically was useless just because we were hiding away from him. And I believe they had spawns on that point, but we took like all the points for that hill. And I think that's something you guys can really use to your advantage going up against him.
That is an interesting take. Instead of trying to beat him head on, just avoid him and try to keep him out of the play.
I mean, that's what worked for me.
Yeah.
That's
I'll be honest, I've never heard of a more coward thing.
I mean, if it works, it works, right?
Huff before a game did say that. He did say, let's avoid Common Sense. And I responded with, I'm challenging him every single life.
Yeah, I don't see how you can just avoid someone. I mean, I guess you know where he's more than likely going to be.
Yeah, he's going to stay on that heady and not move. And if he dies, he's going back to that heady right away. I'll tell you that.
That is interesting. And like I can see how that would play out. It's not like you just pretend he's not on the map and, you know, take extra long flanks to get where you're going, right? That's not what Huff's saying. I want to clarify that. He's saying that if you die to him and it's like, okay, well I can easily attack this point from this other angle, and then what's he gonna do? He's gonna have to wrap back and try to kill me a different way. And I think that's what he's trying to say is like you try to 4v3 his other teammates. If you can avoid his power position, you just 4v3 his teammates and then plan for him to try to get a wrap on you, and just plan for that late attack by him. And then you'll be, I wouldn't say smooth sailing, but it is a tactic for sure. So I can respect that. I don't think it was meant to be like a we just cower away and crouch walk our way behind a wall and, you know, avoid them. You know.
That's exactly how I thought it was.
Well, that's sad. So, a key to victory that I put for Red D3 is we have to take at least one respawn and at the same time keep up our S&D game. We have been almost undefeated, barring that one map against Black D1 in S&D. As far as I'm aware, I haven't actually gone back and double checked those numbers. I'm just kind of spitballing this. But we have been.
He did have stacks when he was 0-8, but other than that,
I said with this roster. With this roster, we're practically undefeated. We had one hiccup. But
what was that?
It was an annoying little like, what are those things, like a wart. It just like grows and festers over time, and then by the time you realize it, it's like too big to like get rid of. So you have to like go see a specialist. You got to make the appointment and all this stuff. And like I named it Safari, and now I just live with it. So, but yeah. So that was our hiccup for that map. But anyways, besides that, our S&D game has been very good. It's definitely not been perfect, and it hasn't even been dominant at times, but it has been good, and we have been getting the W's when we need to get them. And it has been, it doesn't necessarily gain you momentum, but it's very good to have that in the back pocket to know that, okay, well, no matter how bad this respawn was, we know that we're going to at least be like toe-to-toe with these guys on S&D. It's not going to be as easy as maybe that last Berlin control we played, right? So I think that's a very important key for Red D3. Anything else that y'all want to add on to that?
I think we covered it in the on the other. We're going over the maps about this key to victory.
Yep. So this is one from Huff. He is muted right now. I'm assuming taking care of something.
Oh.
Okay. He said, look for Dicey on rotations.
For sure. I mean, sorry for interrupting, but
Yeah.
I mean, like we talk about Scuff making plays. Like, if you guys do not watch the mini map when Red D1 plays, this man Dicey then finds every crack and he just somehow gets through, plays his life, gets like that kid's knowledge is absolutely insane. Like, I know he's my opponent, but I got to give credit where credit is due. That kid is gross, and I feel like we always talk about Sense and Zach and Connor, but like the things that Dicey does around the map is impressive, bro.
Mm-hmm. Definitely agree. That was one of the things that I was really keying on when I was going over film, going up against Red D1 when we did. Just after watching our game, I just really saw how much, like, since, like you said, since Zach and Connor kind of making some big plays and getting noticed, but Dicey, he's making big plays where it doesn't get like the spotlight. He just like Scuff, like I said before, he's getting on the flank, he's getting those spawns. He is gonna be so hard to find, and what's the hardest part is you don't know when you have to find him.
Yeah, I definitely like. I think Safari was really the only caster that actually highlighted the things that Dicey was doing. He's one of the casters that kind of keeps an eye on the mini map more often than he probably should sometimes, because then he ends up casting from the mini map and we're watching some dude sitting there staring at a corner for 20 minutes. But nonetheless, he does notice the things that typically do go unnoticed from some of the casters, right? I mean, he knows what to look for as far as like where the big plays are happening, whether or not it's flashy, whether or not it's that entertaining to watch. Something as big as one thing I remember specifically, I don't remember which match it was, but I do remember him going to Dicey's POV, and he's laying down on Tuscan behind the tank in church spawn, just waiting for his team to spawn on him. His team, I think his team altogether died probably like 3 or 4 times. Not altogether, like 3 or 4 of his teammates were killed during the time that he was just laying back there. But he just kept doing it until his teammates spawned on him, and then they all just rushed from the back. And and that was like, it wasn't like, flashy, it wasn't good looking, it wasn't, any of these things you'd want to see out of for an entertainment aspect, but it was definitely one of those necessary, need to happen, fundamental, like really good plays. And I think that's definitely something that you have to give, you got to tip your cap to Dicey on making some of those plays. And it wasn't just that one hill. That was just a one hill that I remembered stood out to me, and it highlighted in my head. I was like, man, I really got to start looking at every creddy for Dicey. If I'm the one rotating early, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I think that's a very good key to victory from Huff to Puff here. I do want to reiterate, since we're at this point, that once again, there's going to be a big announcement for the next DGL after map 4, the Tuscan Hardpoint, regarding the next DGL and big things that are happening. And these are actually big things. It's not just a, oh hey, we're having another DGL, stuff like that. These are big changes coming to the next league, and all players and viewers will be invited to watch that. It will be a brief intermission of about 5 minutes, and it'll be great to see. Everyone's super excited to talk about it finally. And yeah, with that being said, I think that is just about everything that we had planned here on the show. I definitely am looking forward to doing the pinch again. after champs. That will be coming Friday in the evening time, and it is going to be a post champs review, and we'll be doing we'll be going over a lot more VOD in that one because we'll actually have time to do it. And I want to give a special thanks to my now 4 co-hosts for this episode, Adequate, Emu, Safari, and Huff. Thank you guys a ton for joining me on this very special episode of The Pinch on the DGL official channel.
Yeah, man, no problem.
I mean, of
Thanks
course.
for hosting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks for hosting. I mean, especially before your match in an hour. So, yeah.
So with that being said, my match is in about an hour and 20 minutes. I have to go get some practice in. Me and Emu do have to go. Otherwise, if it wasn't for that, I would have made some filler content to get us all the way until the match starts. But that match is going to be 10:30 EST, Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be an hour and 20 minutes from right now, and you guys should all tune in for that. It's going to be a crazy one for sure. Hopefully, there is some very entertaining points. Thank you to whoever linked my Twitch in the chat. That is where I'm going to be doing the pinch. I also have it right here underneath my camera, if you can see. The pinch live on Wednesday and Friday at twitch.tv/thesclounced. And yeah, that's all we have for y'all for today. Thank you so much, and y'all have a good one.